Hello everyone and welcome back. This is Dr. Mercado speaking. In this short lecture, we are going to be continuing cover the content in Chapter 19, which deals with support department and joint cost allocation. This is Principles of Managerial Accounting. Now, the exercise that I'm going to be covering in this lecture is Exercise 19-1. Okay, let's go ahead and jump right over. By now, you should have read the chapter and you should be familiar with what we're doing. I'm just basically going over these problems with you to help guide you in case you're having any difficulties completing them for your homework, okay? Now, this particular problem deals with support department cost allocation using the direct method, okay? It says Yodown Incorporated produces yogurt. Information related to the company's yogurt production follows. So we've got the support department 1 cost driver, and then we've got the production department 1, production department 2, and production department 3. And the cost driver is $1,400 for department 1, $100 for department 2, and $500 for department 3. So from here we can easily see that the department that gets the majority of the benefit from the support department is department 1. They get $1,400, okay? Now, it says support department 1's cost total is $142,000. Now, using the direct method of support department cost allocation, determine the cost from support department 1 that should be allocated to each production department. So we are allocating the $142,000 that we are spending on support department 1. We're going to allocate those to production department 1, 2, and 3. Okay, that is what we're doing using the direct method. Now, the direct method is a method that allocates all support department costs directly to the production departments without considering the services provided between the service departments. Okay. Now, what I've done here is a little table. I've got my production department 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Now I've got my cost driver. Okay. The cost driver is the allocation. How are we going to allocate our cost? Well, we're going to allocate it based on that driver, and based on that driver, we had $1,400 for department 1, $100 for department 2, and $500 for department 3. I highly encourage that you begin using Excel, setting up your problems in Excel. It just makes them so much easier to understand and work out than when you're actually doing it on paper. It also reduces the amount of error that we do by entering incorrect information in our calculators, okay? Practicing Excel is super important because you're going to be using it a lot in the workforce, okay? Okay, so now that we got our production 1, 2, and 3, I'm going to get my total, okay? I'm going to add those three numbers together, okay? That gives me 2,000, okay? Now I'm going to calculate my proportion or my allocation, whatever you want to call it, okay? How much am I going to allocate, okay? Well, I'm going to get my department 1 cost driver divided by my total, which is the 2,000. That's going to give me 70% allocation for department 1. I'm going to get my department 2 divided by my total. That's going to give me 5%. And then I'm going to get department 3 divided by my total, and that gives me 25%, okay? So that gives me, let's get a total here. Of 100%, okay? So, because we are allocating a higher percentage to department 1, the allocation is going to be higher. So 70% of my cost is going to be allocated to department 1, 5% to department 2, and 25% to department 3. So what are we allocating? We are allocating the cost of the support department. And the cost that we are allocating is $142,000. That was given to you. So the question is, how am I going to split or break that down into the three departments? I'm going to break that down based on my allocation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my support department cost times my allocation percentage. And that's going to give me a number. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing for production 2. I'm going to get my support department cost times my allocation percentage. And then I'm going to do step number 3. You're always going to get your 142,000 times the allocation percentage. In this case for department 3, it's 25%. and that gives me 35,500. Okay, so that gives me 142,000, which is the cost that I'm splitting amongst the three departments. So once again, let me do it on the calculator. How do I get my allocation? You're going to get your support department cost, which is 142,000, times the proportion or the allocation percentage calculated. That gives me 99,400. For the second one, it'll be 142,000 times the 5%. That gives me 7,100. And last but not least, I'm going to get my 142,000 times 25%. That gives me 35,500. Okay. So the problem was asking us, using the direct method, determine the cost from the support department 1 that should be allocated to each production department. And this is the allocation that we're going to be issuing to each department. 99,400 for department 1, 7,100 for department 2, and 35,500 for department 3. And that is based on the cost driver provided in the problem. Okay, so fairly simple. It's just a matter of understanding, okay, what do I have to allocate and how am I going to allocate it? Okay, and then from there you work your magic by doing your calculation. Okay, so that is basically it for exercise 19.1. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and until next time, thank you.